Okie dokie. Let's just pour this bad boy in, and then we'll be ready to jump right back into it. And hopefully we don't immediately follow up the short break with some unfortunate, death, as it were. But I'm sure it'll be fine. When has that ever stopped me in the past? So we'll jump straight into this one. Sure. Attacking my own guardian golem just immediately deleted it from existence? Is that how that normally works? Guess that's fine. I was actually hoping that our buddy would summon on the other side. Okay, best bet. Let's just play this safe. We'll heal up. Maybe C. I don't think I can out-heal your damage output, my friend. Fortunately, no real utility here. Largely necromancy spells is not what I was hoping for. Could blast mode, but I feel like getting awfully close to where that might kill me, especially if I take a hit from the Komodo dragon in the interim period. So 31% chance to paralyze you. Knowing our general luck when it comes to those things, that is essentially a 0%, so let's not worry too much about that. 2 blinking that I definitely do not wish to use right now. Dispersal boomerang, 72% chance of hit. Okay. Now that I'm down with. Then we can just let our regen do a little bit of its fancy work here. Once again, our guardian golem just does not know how to spawn in the right spot, but that's cool, I guess. One more time. Oh, okay. No, dispersal did not work. Go down to 1 health. Fantastic. Just what I wanted. Goodbye, sir. I'm sorry to have troubled you, my Komodo friend. I respect your boundaries, and I will leave you alone. I mean, temporarily, if we're being, again, completely frank with each other. But at least for a little bit. You know, that's pretty sweet. I feel like our relationship has time to mend. We have time to grow. That's always good. Oh, there you are. You're not who I left behind. Excuse me? Oh, there we go. Okay, so it turns out we had more friends that we had remained on the level here, but perfect. Went exactly how we planned. Oh, I actually kind of forgot about you too, my friend. How could I possibly have forgotten about you? Oh me, oh my. Oh, okay, don't walk into that cloud of calcifying dust. I apologize. Holy moly. There we go, just go with Scorch. I got way too fancy with my movement there, trying to get them to run into our blast mote mines. Turns out, just kill them was the correct answer all along. Just killing them were the real friends we made along the way. But okay, we've hit all of our current skill caps, so where do we wish to go next? Could train some armor. If we hope to at some point swap away from the troll leather, which I mean we probably do at some point, just don't know when at the moment. What else? Could just train more fighting. Spellcasting at some point we'll have to come back on. At the moment it's still too low for some of the higher level spells. In fact, let's train a little bit of that. Gives us some spell power while we're at it here. Nice and simple when you're on a Djinni character. Fighting and spellcasting, pretty much the only 2 spells you actually need. Oh, and let's not have stones on our quick key, but instead more Foxfire goodness. Beautiful. I would go Ring of Fire, but double cold vulnerability is probably not great, because there are Rhyme Drakes here. So let's maybe couch that one for the future. And play this a little bit safer. Okie dokie. See how that goes here. Golem, if you could please, like, stand in a good spot. Okay, confirmed that doing any damage to my golem apparently angers the gods. Good to know, good to know. Oh, if you could definitely take care of this son of a gun for me, though, I'd greatly appreciate that. Not need to worry about petrify shenanigans going on. Always good, always good. And I need to stop bringing my golem in, actually. I just choose the worst possible moments. Specifically when we're about to be surrounded by a group of enemies, not the time. Because if I don't get some nice ground between me and them, if my golem does blow up, it's going to be in my face. Which, you know, generally isn't the strategy we're aiming for there. Nurgle, please be real dumb-like and just walk directly into my traps, and then I don't need to worry about all of your spectral sons of guns. No? Okay, that's cool too. I guess we just start blasting and hope I get you in the crossfire. Beautiful. So close to the trap lane, or I guess the mine lane strat working out for us there, but not quite getting us across that final finish line. That is a-okay with me. Golems tend to be best for quarter use in your opinion, reverse dumb creatures like Hydra that just straight line attack rather. Fair enough. Yeah, usually most enemies I feel are pretty like straight line oriented, so I feel pretty safe about that. But just having to rely on, you know, them summoning or spawning in a place that I can abuse without enemies just walking past them doesn't quite work. So in that regard, hallway is definitely the best bet because they guarantee that setup. Like, there we go. See, that's what I'm always aiming for. Is just getting nice straight lines between me and my new friends. Just in time for me to murder them violently. Just like real life. There we go. Okay. Finally settled in here a little bit, or so it would seem. Please don't blow up in my face, Golem pal. You just get them off as early as possible so you can position. I think that is the right play by a long shot. Playing proactively is, I feel like, the antithesis of how I usually play. But I try to at least put on an air of playing well. So I appreciate the advice for sure. And well, let's just play this one a little bit safely. No need to get too bogged down in the details. How many hits do you have? Is that 8? 7. Okay. We're probably just gonna leave here. Just waiting to see who came up next to us, and Cane Toad, you are indeed the lucky winner. Congratulations. What are you gonna do with your prize, my friend? Perfect. And I guess this stairwell is pretty much our new go zone here, so that's perfect. Kind of screwed ourselves off from other areas. Oh no. Hello, Fanar. I'm cold vulnerable. You deal 13 cold damage. That's bad math. Watch me use spores with this. It's gonna be a treat. Oh yeah, we'll see how it goes. Maybe I'll have to avoid that ability. Well, hate this. I'm just gonna teleport. I probably could make it back to the stairs, but that's fine. Let's just get the heck out of Dodge. And exactly, Saint Ras, that's what I'm asking. Why does Fedhass's mom let him have B13s, you know? Doesn't seem fair, really, at the end of the day. Do you want time to just start blasting here? I think I'd need to kill things quickly enough that they don't become too much of a problem here, and that definitely works out short term, so that is fantastic. If all of you could meet my new golem friend, I would appreciate that as well. And Oh, that's not what I meant to cast. What did I just cast? Inner Flame. Oh no. Oh, we are so smart here. Not sure that's even mathematically possible. It's a good point. At least, you know, to have an evenly weighted 13-sided dice. You could have a 13-sided dice, all right. Just not going to be very sound from a fairness point of view. But okay, do I just blink? I want to save them, obviously, but there I go again, putting myself into a near-death experience, especially with accidentally casting Inner Flame instead of Flame Wave. Just great work, me. Keep it up. I guess I could also just drink a healing and see if that does the trick, but heal wounds actually super valuable on Djinni characters, I feel, even more so than normal. And my pathing is terrible. There we go. Can at least put up flame clouds galore and try to take care of the last of our friends here. Okay, have we settled? Are we back into a nice steady state where I'm no longer just in a constant state of panic? Let us put down a couple of blast motes. There we go. That does the trick. Oh me, oh my. Never a dull moment, that's for sure. But okay, new yak friends. Let's play it safe this time. I've been so sure that my Flame Wave can deal with any issues that come our way that I've kind of been playing fast and loose, when really we should probably be just the slightest bit intelligent in how we tackle these problems. Specifically, there's no real reason to get in close combat with these sons of guns when we can just fool around like that. At 6 AC seems like a problem. No kidding, you're telling me. You can get 13-sided dice, not that you ever played AD&D or anything. The only fair one you found was kind of like a 13-sided pencil and cross-section. Oh yeah, so that's kind of like the original dice. I want to say, oh, is it an old Egyptian board game? Like an ancient Egyptian board game that uses little triangle-shaped rods as dice? You know, that's a good point. I mean, it's funny because is it 13-sided to roll a D11 or 15-sided to roll a D13, in which case we have a bit of a problem. Can you have a 13-sided die that is a D13 and is fair? I guess maybe becomes the boiled down question here. And can just take care of our Hydra friend with blast motes. Again, as long as we're playing intelligently and I don't do anything too silly, blast motes are pretty absurdly strong. This is dumb, by the way. I would not recommend doing this. For whatever reason, Fanar decided today would be a fun day to not use any of their good abilities, but that very well should have just gone horribly for us, if we're being completely honest, but that's fine. It's a mixture of square and you think triangle sides. You don't think it's fair. The pencil one is. Well, fair enough, fair enough. And not too shabby. And we'll just keep on keeping on here. Hopefully that's the worst that Lair has in store for us, even though almost assuredly is not the case, if we're being completely and totally honest. But hey, blind optimism is what has gotten us this far in our various challenge series, so why not continue to do so? I mean, you'd think blind faith would be a little bit more part and parcel with the whole win with deities thing, but I guess sometimes the whims of the world may surprise even you. But we'll do our best here to just keep on keeping on. And there we go. I think that this is a brilliant opportunity to bring out our favorite golem friend. Kind of. I guess the downside of it is that this son of a gun is going to keep switching directions on me. How dare you? But there we go. We do eventually manage to take care of our friends. We have Spider as one of our S branches. Don't love that, for sure. But, you know, we have a decent amount of curing. 8 curing. Well, oh my gosh. I need to stop playing on autopilot. These buddies deal cold damage. Torinski, you're vulnerable. Stop that. Don't forget my demon summons on this run. Beat you to it. I already have forgotten about it. Aha. Gosh darn it. Okay, I'm gonna use a blink. Oh. Again, maybe this was necessary. I need to get rid of all of my safety nets so that I could truly be free, you know? We always have that, those blink trolls in our back pocket, then of course we're gonna make silly mistakes, because we can get bailed out of it. Instead, we just need to fly by the seat of our pants, and how could it possibly go poorly? Maybe worth testing to see if I can shoot through them now. Yeah, we'll see potentially in just a moment here. So, what? Screw it. Oh, we did not wake up our frog friend. So if I'm here, then Flame Wave. Really fire your neck cocksack. So that doesn't seem great. Do I even have anything I can fire through you besides that? But I'm guessing that would count, right? Flame Wave? Just looked up and you can have dice of any number of sides, but the only regular polyhedrons are the D&D dice. Interesting. I'm curious. It'd be an interesting challenge to have to design like every integer of die in a geometry class. I guess it probably wouldn't be that interesting. It would boil down to a pattern of how the shapes worked, but for a dum-dum like me, it would be very interesting, I guess is what it boils down to. Come right this way, please, my friend. Perfect, I appreciate your support. And then let's just back myself into a corner and start blasting the ever-living crap out of these sons of guns. Perfect. Probably you can always use a cylinder shape with the appropriate number of sides. Yeah, that's a good shortcut for sure. That's the cheat answer to the assignment. No, I'm trying to even just think about dice. Like, okay, a d20 is made up of triangles. Is that... How would that actually... I'm trying to think of a pattern for n number side die. And how many sides each... You know, how many edges each side is required to have. Well, if you didn't hear that, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. That's how I get by with a lot of things in life. You just, if I say something, you know, witty, charming, or intelligent, definitely remember that one. But if I say something dumb, insulting, or just silly and inane, feel free to ignore those ones. That's not me. That's... At least that's what I have to tell myself to get to sleep at night. I think the math's more complicated than it seems, right? I don't know where I land right now. I feel like I'm flip-flopping between... Because in general, geometry very quickly gets to be especially tricky. I'm curious if that'd be the case there. I'm sure it would. It's one of those classic things where pretty much no matter how you look at it, you're almost guaranteed to be either over or under thinking. And very, very little wiggle room for anything in between. Okay, well these sons of guns came through the fire and flames, just chilling on their own. So we'll start doing some blast mode shenanigans to try and get a little bit of advantage eked out of the madness here. even if I do end up taking some damage because of it. I'm also walking into the unknown, which, kids, if you're playing at home, don't play like me. This is not the correct move by any stretch of the imagination. But it is what we'll do for the moment here. And there we go. I can get a little bit of extra space. In fact, what I probably should have done was double up one of those so I get the concussive blast on the Nethack as well, but that's fine. It's okay, you're English. It's pretty hard to offend you. Fair enough. Math at certain levels starts to be quite fun in your opinion. I agree. I really enjoy math, especially like university level math. I mean, it's weird where I think my favorite math is basic math, because you use that all the time, you know, up to the level of like maybe trigonometry. Everything from base level to that, super useful and super fun. And then there's a little bit of like kind of base level calculus that I'm not a huge fan of. But then when you get back up into like high level linear algebra or even high level calculus, that's where it gets fun again, especially when it's very applicable and you're not just learning like the building blocks, but instead you have like applied mathematics. That's my favorite for sure. But no, I'm a pretty big math fan for sure. I mean, I was in the sciences, so pretty hard not to be. I mean, I sucked again at like calculus, intro to calculus courses. Terrible. But still very cool and fun. And I love probability, even though I cannot wrap my head around it, and I'm a bit of a dum-dum in most ways when it comes to that, trying to remember everything I learned in those courses. Say, Ras, you're a Bachelor of Science in Math, Grandmaster thesis at the moment, and you never took any geometry classes. People told you they were the hardest ones. I think that's definitely fair enough. The closest I got to a geometry class was probably like some dabbling in it in linear algebra, like the higher level, you know, the like 300 400 level linear algebra courses definitely touched base on that. But yeah, I can't imagine this in general. The high level math courses, I'm speaking from a very limited range of experience and knowledge, but I'd definitely like to learn more. I love learning so much, even if it's something I'm not good at or makes me feel stupid. That's generally just a plus, because it means that it's interesting and exciting, so I like that. You're actually specialized in probability theory? That's really cool. Yeah, that was the main focus of a lot of the math classes I took, just because I was in a physics and astrophysics degree, so obviously once you get to high level physics, it becomes very focused on probability for sure. But that was a class that I struggled in for sure, and just trying to take it all to heart, because I am a sucker for like those gut instincts, and you know, most of the things that we feel about probability and are kind of like an innate understanding to it are just very wrong. Human brain is not good at probability, but I do love that stuff. Kind of bugs Wash, you did comp sci, although it didn't work with computers for long, but loved programming and got heavily into probability, which seems really counterintuitive a lot of time, and recursion. Nice, that's very cool. Yeah, comp sci is my newest love. That's what I actually am working towards career-wise. So that definitely stands out to me. It's funny, we've almost done a bit of a reverse there, because now I'm fully working with computers, and a bit less so on the other bits. And yeah, recursion is really interesting. Recursion is another one of those things that I find very interesting to wrap your head around. It's not super intuitive as well. You know, if in a basic case, you can kind of walk through the cases, but that very quickly becomes untenable as you get into like higher complexity levels. But very interesting for sure, and something I should touch base on again at some point and try to bring myself up to speed, because I'm sure it would be useful to at least have base knowledge on. And as mentioned a few times here, it's kind of fun and cool as long as you're into it, which I also like to stress is not something that everyone like should agree with. You know, if it's something you enjoy and find fun, then that's awesome. If not, then that's totally cool too. It's not for you. It's definitely not for everyone. My partner is not as big of a math fan as I am, for sure. But they tolerate me. They listen to me talk about my silly science and math stuff that I find super, super interesting. So still supportive, just not quite in the same vein of interest level for sure. You did work for a computer company for a few years and got bored with it. Can't read either, apparently. Just took a 3-month break at the Royal Mail. Ended up being 8 years. Well, nice. Do you enjoy that line of work at the very least? Was it a good switch at the end of the day? Or, I mean, even if it's just a convenient switch, or, you know, it allowed you to do what you wanted in life otherwise, that's totally valid too. I think a lot of times we focus on, like, you know, do what you love, and that's the only acceptable job, which is great. If you can do what you love for a living and you can get by on that, that's so awesome. But realistically, if you just like your job, if it's tolerable and it allows you to do the things you love, that's also totally acceptable. Not everything needs to be perfect. We do lots of stuff that we don't love, you know, to the core of our being, but instead, it just allows us to fulfill ourselves in other ways or whatnot. So, anyway, long-winded way of saying, just everyone has their own way in life, and I think that that's always a cool thing, really, at the end of the day.